Hello and welcome to episode number 144 of Week in Review. My name is Sean, and on this week's show, it is a snack-filled week, both of the regular, real, tangible donut variety, limited edition, and the bug variety, as we are finally getting to talk about BUGSNAX. We'll also look forward to this week's new releases and the streams happening over on twitch.tv/SeanOsaurusRex. So for this week's limited edition, I originally recorded this about a week ago, and I thought that I recorded it locally on my hard drive so it would look nice and not stutter all over the place. But when I moved the bag of donuts over, I hit my mouse, and my mouse was on the stop recording button, and I accidentally clicked the mouse, so it stopped recording. So the footage you're about to see is, it's fine from an audio perspective, but the camera freezes a lot because the Twitch stream that I had to download and then import and edit dropped a lot of frames from a visual standpoint, so it's a little herky-jerky from a visual perspective, but audio-wise, it's fine. It gets the point across, so just be aware of that before we jump to the next section. But before this week's main review, which is BUGSNAX, we're going to check out some real snacks from Hostess Donuts, which I feature on this show actually quite regularly. And I should continue to thank the convenience stores that I go to for routinely providing content for this show. So let me grab the bag here. It's very loud. This is the audio everyone loves. I talk about it every time I put something limited edition on here. It's great audio, fix it for next time, and then I never do. So we'll drop that down there. Here we have Hostess Donuts limited edition apple cinnamon. Yeah, this setup definitely helps me get closer and have better angles on the food. It does look a little weird because I have my monitor over here instead of in front of me. So I keep looking over there to make sure that it's actually in focus. And then we have maple glazed limited edition little 6-pack of donuts. I saw these this morning, and I discovered that from the doorstep of my work, it is 169 steps between that doorstep and the doorstep of the gas station next door. So that's that. There you go. There's some information for you. I'm really excited about both of these. I love apple. I love apple cinnamon. And I'm a huge fan of maple. So we have two pretty good potentials here for some good, solid donuts. So we'll try them. I'm going to go with the apple cinnamon first. And we'll give them a whirl here. So let's open them. We'll do our patented sniff test first, and then we'll dive in and try them. Oops. These don't open well, I'll say that. Just rip right down the middle, no big deal. Couldn't possibly want to try and wrap it back over. No big deal. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That smells good. Smells like a delicious apple, like a cider drink that you're getting at a pumpkin place. Pumpkin patch. That's what it's called. Hell yeah. There's a lot of cinnamon. There's a lot of cinnamon. Not getting a ton of apple. They're very, very powdery too. They're pretty good. They're pretty alright. I mean, they definitely taste. I can hear my mom in the back of my head saying, "Sean, stop talking with your mouth full." Or my niece is, or more accurately, my niece is saying, "Okay, Papa." They taste good. I like the scent. I like the idea. I just feel like it needs more of the apple. It doesn't have enough of that. It's very much cinnamon over the apple, and I wish that there was a little bit more of a kick to the apple side of things rather than just cinnamon. But I mean, they're fine. They are the powdered variety, powdered donuts in this particular case. I found the bag with my feet, by the way. They're not my first pick. They're really messy. They get everywhere, all over clothes and fingers and all that stuff. So I typically don't go for them. But these are pretty good. We'll move on to the donuts. These are maple glazed. I don't know if I specified that earlier, but these are maple glazed. I talked a little bit about, obviously, just now the powdered donuts. So we'll go ahead and we'll give these a whirl. See if these open any better. I don't think they will. Kind of. Marginally. Alright, so here we go. Maple glaze. Ooh. Alright, they definitely have the maple on the top. I don't know. I don't think I really showed off the cinnamon one. You get the idea. They're powdered cinnamon. Oh, yeah, that is a maple. Hell yeah, doggy dog. Hell yeah. Nope, I spilled some. Shit. That's a different spill. Alright, cool. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the simpler the better. If you're just going like, look, we're making a maple donut. That's all you have to do. It's just a maple glaze on top of a donut. Oh, yeah. Proud of myself for saving this one for second, because these are way better. But they also... Hang on, let me finish chewing. What I was trying to say was, shout out to me for saving these for second, because they're much better. However, because I prefer more of the glazed variety anyway, it makes more sense that I would like these more than the apple cinnamon. Even though the apple cinnamon's still good, I'm still not the biggest fan of the powdered donut. I do think it needs more apple flavor, but the maple, that is spot on. Keep it simple, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Great advice, hurts my feelings every time. Do it. Donuts, you nailed it with the maple glaze. They're fantastic. Apple cinnamon needs a little work, just needs a little more apple. But these are both well worth trying. If either of these sound interesting to you, I fully encourage you and I support you in buying as many of them as you want. Okay, you have my go ahead and say so. Okay, if you go to the store and you buy 12 of them, your significant other, they get mad at you, say, hey, some nerd on the internet told me that I could buy them. And then direct them to my Twitter and then tell them to vote in the Mystery Bag Monday poll. So at least while I'm getting yelled at, I get a vote for one of the consoles that they would like to see pulled from the bag of mystery games. So there you go. There are some thoughts on the apple cinnamon powdered donuts and the maple glazed donuts. I love the maple, though the apple cinnamon was good. Just needed a little bit more apple. Both very good. So go try them out because they are, I'm sure, limited to the holiday season. And they're both good picks for that. Now that we've had our fill of donuts, that's what I talked about, right? Yeah, donuts. We can talk about BUGSNAX, which is a game that is absolutely wonderful. I've been super hyped for BUGSNAX for a really long time, ever since it was announced back at that PlayStation 5 event 5 months ago, 6 months ago or so. And it really caught my eyes when I originally saw it. I love the art style and the design of the characters. It really pops from a color perspective, and it had that incredibly catchy song to it. And I was just super curious about it. And that was the coolest thing, and the thing that I was most excited about was it was a mystery. For all the games that we've gotten this fall, I feel like a lot of them are pretty known quantities. Even if you take Halo Infinite, which is a game that got delayed, you know what you're getting with Halo Infinite. It's going to be a first-person shooter. You know exactly what you're going to get with Call of Duty, first-person shooter. You know what you're going to get with Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, whatever the hell that one's called. Because they're Ubisoft games, you know what you're getting. I just thought it was so cool to have something like that felt super fresh and super new come out this fall, and for that game BUGSNAX to come out and not only meet but exceed my expectations is awesome. BUGSNAX is easily one of my favorite games of the year. I love it so very much. The basic concept of the game is pretty simple. You were sent a video. You're a journalist, and you were sent a video by a character named Elizabeth. And she has this cool thing called BUGSNAX, and she wants to explain it to you. You're a reporter, and you are going to go to Snacktooth Island to figure out what the heck is going on. Unfortunately, when you get to Snacktooth Island, not everything is as it seems, as Elizabeth is missing and her partner Egabel is gone as well, and they've been gone for weeks, and you come across this community that is splintered and scattered. And that was the thing that really stuck with me throughout the entire playtime of this game. Is I love the way this game is written. I love the way the relationships are explored, and I love that for as bright and colorful it can be kind of dark at times, and I like how it pushes the relationships forward. It has all kinds of different relationships, romantic relationships, platonic relationships, interactions with characters who don't see eye to eye, and I just thought it was so fascinating to watch all of this stuff play out. As you make your way into the main area of the island, you are introduced to these little creatures called BUGSNAX, and they are quite literally snacks that are bugs. So you have something that's called like a buffalocust, which is a locust that looks like a buffalo chicken wing. It's awesome. They have so many creative and cute and clever creatures that you catch, and the creatures that you catch help you push the narrative forward. You either donate them to one of the characters, or you feed them to another character who's looking for inspiration. And it's just something to collect, and that's where the Pokemon aspect comes in, is you have to set traps and you catch them. You don't like battle them or anything. There's actually very little combat in this game. But a lot of the game is built around the puzzle of how do I catch these BUGSNAX to help me progress in my missions. And the missions are pretty simple for the most part. I don't think any of them ever outstay their welcome. I think that there are a couple of times where the game isn't super well tutorialized, or I got stuck and the answer was very clear once I figured it out, but I just don't think it was explained well enough for me to see the answer that they were going for. There's one part where you have to knock something down, and you have to use a specific item for it. And it just gives you the controls of it, but it doesn't seem like it makes sense for what you're trying to do. It was a very weird thing where I looked at it and I was like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to see here. I walked away from it. I even came back to it and was still a little bit lost. And there were a couple of other times where I walked away from something, came back to it, and I figured it out and it clicked, and I was like, oh, that was a lot simpler. Just wasn't getting it for whatever reason. But as you progress through the game, you get to conduct interviews with the characters that you meet and bring back to the community. And as you do these interviews, which is a really interesting game mechanic, I like that it's in there. You flip open a book and you ask them a bunch of questions. I like the way that stuff fills out backstory in the game. It gives context and characteristics to different characters. Not everybody likes Elizabeth, and the reason that the community fell apart was when she got lost. The person that took over wasn't really the best, or in the best position for it. They were trying their best. We love Philbo. I'm a big fan of Philbo. He was a little in over his head, and it kind of fell apart because he just didn't have that experience or that charisma. People didn't believe in him, whatever the reason was. And as these interviews are conducted, you start to kind of see why things cracked and fell apart. It wasn't necessarily his fault in some cases. Some people just didn't really like Elizabeth or Egabel. And it's this really fascinating thing. It's just such a simple game mechanic, and the way it fleshes out the world is super fascinating to me. And I love the way that the game moves. This game has a really perfect runtime of 10 hours or so. I think that's about how long it took. I was exploring a lot more in the early parts, trying to collect all the BUGSNAX and doing the side quests. But as I was pushing forward, I felt like I was getting close to the end of the game. So I was like, well, I'll just get through it, and then I'll double back and get the platinum and finish it off. So I still have a little bit to do. I think I have to collect about half of the BUGSNAX, and I have to do a few side quests, but I don't think I have a ton more to do before that sweet platinum trophy. But I really loved this game. I loved the way it moved, and I thought that the pacing was great and the length was great. And you can also complement that to not only the side quests, but the main quests as well. Nothing ever really felt like it was too long. And even the final hour-long section where things get a little bit more combat focused, I actually really enjoyed. And that's really odd, because it seems like a lot of the times where you have a game that's like this, or the analog that I thought of when I was thinking about how I wanted to talk about this was anytime they put a stealth mission in a Call of Duty, you're just like, oh god, this is the worst thing you could do. This game is not built for this. I don't understand why you're doing this. It never works. It never feels right. And you just want that mission to be over. That's how the ending of this game could have felt, except for it's great and I really liked it. There's an intensity to it, and there's a like anxiousness of like, I really want to get this done and I want to get this done correctly, but none of it ever lasts too long. It's several different parts that last for 2 minutes or whatever it is. You're in and out after everything's been explained and figured out, and I liked the way it moved. I keep going back to it, but it's the pacing of this game that really worked for me. Not ever lingering on that stuff made a whole lot of sense, and it made the game feel like that 10-hour runtime was just perfect. I love BUGSNAX so much. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but I want you to know one thing if you're watching this review. I love this game. It is easily one of the best games of the year, and I highly recommend that people check it out. It's so bright and colorful and hopeful and interesting, and I love the character dynamics and the way they push that stuff forward. And I think especially in this year of 2020 where things have been so chaotic and so unpredictable, and for a lot of people, for a lot of different reasons, difficult, something like this is super helpful to play and relax and explore without like a timed consequence, like pressure consequence, but also have that type of escape, and having that escape be something that is hopeful and cheerful and joyful is awesome. I love BUGSNAX, and I cannot recommend that people play it enough. It's on the PlayStation 4 and on the PlayStation 5. If you buy it on PS4, you get a free copy of the PlayStation 5 version. You can double up on your platinum trophies. What more are you waiting for? Go play BUGSNAX. Finally, on this week's show, we'll take a look at the week's new releases. I have my handy-dandy list here. Out on Blu-ray, nothing. But there were a surprising number of games this week. Considering how busy last week was, especially with the new console releases, I thought this week was going to be a total breeze with nothing. But it turns out there's actually a couple of interesting things coming out. The first of those is 5 Dates, which is an interactive live-action romantic comedy. I believe it's from the same studio that did a bunch of the other ones that I had played on this channel, like that one called The Bunker, and the other one, Late Shift, and The Complex. I think it's from that developer or publisher, so I don't know. I watched a trailer for it. It looked like a game that probably takes like an hour or two, and I thought, yeah, maybe I'll stream it one day. We also have Halo 4 hitting the PC version of the Master Chief Collection. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is getting a brand new release. Star Renegades is out. This is a strategy RPG that I believe is procedurally generated, but that's available on Xbox Game Pass on the 19th, and it looks very cool from like a art direction, art style standpoint. I thought it looked really neat, so I'm going to try that out sometime soon. And then last but not least, we have Katamari Damacy. It's a weird game that was very popular in the PlayStation 2 era, and I don't think it's really caught as much fire in recent years, but this is an HD remake of one of the previous Katamari games. It's weird. It looks cool. That's out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I believe it's on Switch now, or maybe it's on PS4. It's out on Xbox. That's the main point. And then the streams happening on twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex are as follows. Thursday is going to be games 9 and 10 of the first season of the Boise State What If. They joined the Pac-12. There were a couple of really good games last week. As hopefully that trend continues. It's been a rough season for Boise State. Maybe they can turn it around. But I also shouldn't have turned coach contracts on because I might lose my job. So we'll see what happens with that. After that, we're going to play a big chunk of Chicken Police. We'll play at least 2 hours. My plan is to fill out the rest of the stream with it, but depending on how it goes, I could cut it short and switch to something else. And then Friday, we're going to pick up with Yestermorrow. I finished the first island, and we're going to move on to the second island for the next big task that we have to do in that game. And depending on how long that takes, that'll kind of dictate what happens after that stream, or after that game. Could be more Yestermorrow, honestly, if it takes a reasonable amount of time. Could be Scourgebringer, could be Star Renegades. I'm not 100% sure what's going to fill that second half of the stream, but, tune in. It's a mystery. Have fun with that. Sunday, Bus Simulator, the drive for the final 75 gamer score, episode number 4, and I believe it's part number 23, 22, 23, something like that, of the Bus Simulator videos that I keep putting up on YouTube and keep streaming. We're chugging our way through it. We're almost done with the original missions that were in the original game on PC, and then there was an expansion pack, or there was a mission pack, that's what it was, and then there was an expansion pack. So we're not quite halfway through there, but we're starting to get to a point where we start clipping through some stuff here pretty quickly. And then finally, Monday is Mystery Bag Monday, episode number 6. PlayStation 1 won for the second time last week, so it's 2 PlayStation 1 parts, 2 Xbox 360 parts, 1 PlayStation 2 part, and as of the recording of this video, the PlayStation 2 is in the lead. We'll see if it maintains that lead on Monday when that episode premieres, and hopefully, please, no more anime fighters. They're so boring. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Week in Review. If you like the content, you can scroll on down. I forgot to put my notebook down so I can do this. Scroll on down, hit that subscribe button, and then ring that bell so you're notified when I post new videos. If you want, you can leave me a comment down below and you'll let me know what you thought of the donuts that I reviewed, either the maple or the apple cinnamon. You can also tell me what you thought about BUGSNAX, or you can tell me if I'm missing anything cool that's coming out or has been out that you're playing, watching, enjoying. Head on over to twitch.tv/ShaunosaurusRex on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday for all those streams over there if they sound good to you. And check back each and every week for more Week in Review right here. See you next time.